in positions, everyone. Camera 1 into effect. 2-second pre-roll. Camera 1, track left. Oh, good luck. Watch your focus, fellas. We're on the air.
Kids wanna know. Kids wanna know. Kids wanna know.
Have you ever seen rock climbers before? Experienced ones can hang hundreds of feet in the air by just their fingertips and rocks as small as this. But before they're able to do that, they have to learn how to do it first. And here's one place that they can go.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
Rock around the clock, it's more like rock around the walls at the Rocknasium in Davis, California. This warehouse was turned into an indoor rock climbing facility, a place where people interested in the sport can learn the safe and correct way of climbing before they head out to the hills. And if it's raining outside, you can climb without fear of being washed off a mountainside. Now, the first thing you'll learn about before you do your Spider-Man impersonation is the equipment.
These type of shoes are called climbing shoes, and what they're good for is they have a real sticky rubber on the bottom, a lot more stickier than what we'd wear on our average shoes, and that enables the shoes to stick to real small holds. On our average shoes outside, they're pretty hard, so they last long. This rubber kind of goes pretty fast. It'll burn up pretty fast.
And what else do we need to know?
The basics are teaching them the movement over the rock, how to get themselves up the wall without using too much energy so that they can last a long period of time. And mostly the safety aspects of it, you know, the being a safe belayer, tying in the knots, everything like that.
Let's start with tying in. If you're going to be the climber, you'll need to put your harness on first. Then you take the rope closest to the wall, stretch out the last 3 feet of rope, and make a figure 8 knot like Squirrel is showing us. Then you'll run the end up through the loop in your harness. Now take the end and follow the figure 8 back through again to make a double figure 8 knot. Now this is used by climbers because the more you pull on it, the tighter it gets, so it's safe. Next, the person who is going to be the belay, or hold the climber, puts the other end of the rope through their brake clips. Now to make sure everyone's ready, the climber and person on belay have to say these words.
Am I on belay?
Am I on belay?
And then if I'm ready, I'll say belay is on.
Okay.
Then you say climbing,
Climbing.
and I say climb on.
And now it's time to climb.
What I found is, for myself, it's really kind of mentally stimulating, mentally challenging, as well as physically challenging. But more it's mental, I'd say, because you know, when you get up and you're nervous at a spot, you have to overcome that to get past there. Some people don't have any fear factor, so that they can just cruise through it, but I'd say it's good to have a fear factor. You know, it's really good for survival.
Yeah, it seems this is a time when being a little afraid is good, because it helps you focus harder on doing everything the correct and safe way.
Yeah, you don't just tend to push the limits so much, you know, you climb within your ability range and figure things out, and then it's really mental training, you know, you learn to figure out how to get over being scared and focusing on the climb.
And it teaches you to work with others.
And the trust is the other aspect of it, you know, you have to learn to trust your belay person, which is the brake person. You have to learn to trust that person, all the equipment that you're relying on, and once you get to that point where you can trust all of that, then you can really become a sound climber and focus on the climbs and make it through harder things.
And when you're ready to come back down, you say, take. The belay person locks down the rope, then eases you back down to the ground.
They've got easy walls and intermediate walls and like really hard walls. And so it doesn't matter how good you are at rock climbing, you can still climb.
I think it's really cool because like you can do things like that you couldn't do in your own house. It's like, don't try this at home type of thing.
I think it's very fun.
And for those of you who think this is a sport just for boys,
A lot of times they feel a little intimidated that they're not going to have the muscles to do it, where in actuality, the gals usually do much better than the guys do at first because they're more aware that they don't necessarily have the upper body strength, so they focus more on their feet, which gives them better balance and better agility to push themselves up, where a guy thinks he can do 100 pull-ups, and all us guys know that ain't true. We can do about 4 or 5. So we continue to use our arms, which tires us out really fast, where a gal looks down and uses her feet and pushes her way up and does a really good job. So they usually do much better at first, then the guys and gals even out, then the gals usually stay a little better than even the guys do.
and when you're good enough, you can go bouldering, which means you free climb without ropes, so you better be good. At the Rocknasium, you're only allowed to boulder up to 12 feet high, so if you fall, it's not very far. And it won't hurt much since little strips of soft rubber cover the floor. Now, a few tips on what to do when climbing are: wear shorts and a t-shirt so you're comfortable and can stretch out fully. Never climb by yourself, and
Basic things are just good awareness amongst your partner. You know, you have to be really aware of what's going on. You can't be goofing around. You have to be a real serious situation because he's trusting his life with you at all times. So you have to be very serious about what you're doing.
follow these simple rules, and chances are you'll never find yourself falling down a mountainside sounding like this.
Yeah!